All right, it is February 27th, 2022. Check that out. 1, 2, 3. 1 cherry, 2 cherries, 3 cherries. 3 others haven't done anything yet, but I think they are moving and grooving in there.
Papa! Hey, Papa!
Hey, bro. Nothing on the top of this one, but roots on the bottom. Oh, we do got growth in there. Look at that. We got life all over the place here. 1, 2, 3, 4. Yeah, this is the only one I don't know it's alive. Middle here. April 16th, 2022. Crab apples and sweet cherries, Rainier cherries. Sweet cherries, 1, 2, 3, 4 are doing really well. One's doing, not so much. This one never even sprouted. Roots, yeah, we got roots. All right, let's get these things going here. Gonna get these going in these net pots here. For the most part, just using some fir bark mulch. Gonna be mixing it with some grit. That's gonna be the basic ingredients here. Let's take a look at that. Rainier cherries from seeds. Get these all watered up, back in the window, and wait until spring actually gets here. Hopefully just a couple more weeks before we can start getting these things outside. It is July 4th, 2022. Excuse all that background noise, got a jet overhead, and if you hear sirens, it's because of the 4th of July parade happening right now. These are my sweet cherries from seed. They didn't do too well in the transition outside, but they have recovered fairly nicely since then. And the small weak one here seems to be the happiest one of the lot. But they are still alive, they're still kicking, and we still got all of July and probably most of August before something bad's before this season starts to turn and these things will go back inside and go into hibernation. All right, folks, come back when we got a little more to see. My sweet cherries from Pitts. Forget what my last update was on these. I have to go back and check the video, but today is July 26, 2022, and last night we had a bit of a windstorm. Well, those roof panels were blown right into this bench, flipped the bench over, and the bench landed on top of everything that was up here. So yeah, these things got beat the hell up last night. They did a great job recovering from that initial taking them outside and getting their leaves all sunburned. If you look at it here, this is the tiny one. So the fella right here is the tiny one, the shortest one of the bunch, and you can see it's grown up and cut up to everybody else and looking really good. Everything else has just come back out with some good strong leaves, but then that windstorm, I don't know if that's going to kill them all or not, but I got some fresh fir bark in there. The root balls were still holding most of it together, but everything that the root ball wasn't holding on to has now got fresh dirt around it. Try to see if these things can recover. Hell of an adventure, that's for sure. All right, be back when we got more to show you. September 5th, 2022. These are my 3 sweet cherries from seed, coming from Rainier Cherry seeds. As you can see, some of them look a little bit better than others do. But all in all, I think quite the success story considering how much I abused them and how much they got beat up. This was the runt that kind of shot up. I kind of like the trunk movement that one has too. So I'm really hoping that's the one I can keep alive. Looks like something's been trying to make a home there. Yeah, that is definitely the runt. You can see all the close buds inside of there. It caught up to the one that it was planted next to and did relatively well. Roots just falling out of the pot here. God, I love to see that. These will be overwintered inside in the garage, or maybe the entryway. If they are true Rainier cherries, which they're probably not, but if they are true Rainier cherries, then they're a zone 5, so can't quite keep them outside here all winter. But they can't get down to freezing. They haven't really started losing all their leaves or turning colors just yet, so I'm going to keep them outside until we actually start getting that freezing weather, but they are looking pretty decent. I'm pretty proud of them. December 26, 2022. My Rainier cherries from Pitts, or sweet cherries from Pitts. They've been sitting in the Arctic entryway, and all of them getting some nice good bud swell going on them. That's my Christmas present from my Cubs in the background. They painted that up for me. I think that's pretty darn sweet. Still looking pretty healthy and happy. Way too early to wake them up, but figured I'd just give an update for the middle of winter. Looks like they're surviving. All right, be back when I got more to show you. February 1st, 2023. Well, not quite, but I can't sleep and it's close enough to midnight, so we'll call it February 1st, 2023. Back here with my sweet cherries from Pitts, and as you can see, they are all budding out. I was hoping not to do an update on these until late February or even March, but my entryway warmed up a little bit. Temperatures got up to about 35 degrees for a day, but otherwise been hanging out in the 30s and upper 20s, lower 30s. And so the sun's coming back up and becoming visible, so that warms my entryway up quite a bit, and warmed it up a bit too much, so some of my stuff is starting to bud out a little bit, which is highly unfortunate because I got a long time until spring actually gets here. So we're going to go ahead and wrap this video up after just shy of a year, and we will figure out a few things about these cherries here, what I learned from them, and what I'm going to be doing different going into the next chapter. So first off, transitioning outside, I definitely need to keep them in the shade for a little bit longer than I did this year because I about killed every single one of them doing that. Second thing, don't let them get caught in windstorms because they can get crushed, but they are pretty resilient little buggers. If you have cherries that come from the bud and they or come from the pit and they're a little bit weak, don't give up on them, because that was this one here. And look at all the budding on this one. Nice curve to the trunk, great back budding on it, and short intervals. I'm really digging this one here. I'm really looking forward to doing something with it. But all of them did pretty well. And what I'm going to have to learn coming into 2023 is next winter I got to figure out a better way to overwinter these, because even though I got them to survive, when they start going to flower later on in life, this will be way too early for that. They will never get pollinated, and I'll never get cherries off them. Won't matter for the ones I bonsai, but for the other ones, kind of hoping to get some sweet cherries. So, all right, folks, that'll wrap up this chapter of the sweet cherries from pits. Like it if you liked it, subscribe if you want to follow along, and hopefully I'll see you guys in the next chapter.